Thank you very much. As far as I remember, this is my second time to speak at the CIF. I'm very honored to speak again at this year's conference. I'm a Japanese diplomat who has long been involved in Japanese policy making on disarmament and non-proliferation, pretty much since I graduated from the Middlebury Institute about 20 years ago. Today, I'd like to talk a little bit about the importance of education, in particular from my own experience. I've been fortunate enough to have experienced a number of multilateral and bilateral nuclear disarmament and non-proliferation conferences and meetings, such as NPT, UN First Committee, Conference Disarmament in Geneva, Export Control Regimes, PSI, Proliferation Security Initiative, and so forth. From my experience, I can say for sure that what you have learned at youth definitely counts for your future professional career. I've been fortunate enough to be able to sort of establish myself as an expert in this field in the Foreign Ministry of Japan. There are surely many factors for that, but one of the most important factors is what I had learned before I started my profession in this career, in this field. By learn, I mean not just knowledge on this issue, but also the passion. The education at MIIS was a big element for sure. I gained a lot of knowledge here, which was a big advantage when I started my career in this field. But to me, the biggest advantage did not lie in the knowledge, but the passion. When I was a sixth grader, my school had an excursion trip to Nagasaki, which was about a 2-hour bus trip from my hometown. This is when my particular interest in the nuclear field was ignited. When I saw the atomic bomb museum in Nagasaki, it was just shocking to me. I still remember the melancholic song that we all sang together in our return bus. This is my original passion, which still keeps me motivating myself. When I'm tired and exhausted, I remember survivors' words and song, and I can keep going. But I never really studied much like you when I was in junior high and high school. I was a very lazy student. And frankly speaking, I'm just so impressed with every single presentation I listened to over the last 2 days. They were very well researched, thought out, practiced, prepared, performed. They're all much beyond what I was capable of at your age. And I could see your passion on this important issue. So you should all be very proud of your achievements. You have knowledge and passion, and both of which will give you a significant advantage when you ever even start a profession in this field. I'd say passion is probably more important than knowledge, because the advantage in knowledge you've gained before your professional work can be offset or caught up pretty easily, especially if you're self-conceited or lazy to keep studying. But passion that you gained at youth is not something you can gain later. Of course, you can be passionate later, but the passion at youth is special and unique. So I strongly believe that your ultimate motivation will be your passion. How much you identify yourself with atomic survivors, how much you care about the fate of the Earth and humans. Passion is something you may or may not have gained through education, or the degree may also vary from person to person. It all depends on everyone. But I'm pretty sure everyone here has gained passion through this CIF conference. So I'd like to ask you 3 sort of requests. First, please keep up your passion. The most effective and powerful way is to visit Hiroshima and Nagasaki at least once in your lifetime. Dr. Jeffrey Lewis mentioned this yesterday in his keynote speak. Please go and see and feel yourself the reality of atomic bombing. Both cities have miraculously revived after the bombings, so you not see the complete destruction of a city which you would have seen right after the bombing. But there are still many places and people you could feel firsthand the devastation. Within a decade or so, we will be in a world with no atomic bomb survivors, even if you want to listen to their testimonies firsthand. If you can't visit Hiroshima or Nagasaki, actually there are many survivors living in the United States, especially in California. So you could approach them to listen to their testimonies before they pass away. Experiencing firsthand will certainly change your value to the life and your life itself. And secondly, please keep studying and learning. Whether or not you become a professional in this field, what you have learned now definitely counts, especially when you start your career. But at the same time, you still have to work very hard to keep studying and learning even after you become a professional in this field. There's always something going on every day, and the nuclear field is very deep and cross-disciplinary. And when you keep studying, please try to understand first the reality of political, international, regional, cultural, historical, economic, what have you, which may hinder the process of nuclear disarmament. You can't achieve a nuclear weapon-free world just by keeping insisting upon such a world. Of course, that's very important. I never intend to underestimate the value of keeping insisting on such a world. But in order to achieve our goal, you would need to first understand the reality on the ground, and you would have to make specific concrete plans or roadmap to that goal. So for that, we need to keep studying. And lastly, but not least, please try to act on what you have learned here or what you may learn from now. If you come to understand the reality, please do not stop there. Please always think how you can change the reality in your own capacity, even just a little tiny bit. I do myself too. I always think hard what I can do to advance Japan's policy on disarmament and non-proliferation. Maybe just a little bit, a tiny inch. And you may be critical of the Japanese government's policy, but I try something. And you can also do something. You can start by being an educator yourself and spread to your family and friends. And young people are very good at using SNS. I'm sure young people can use new technologies innovatively for education. So always have this way of thinking. What and how can I change the situation in my capacity? It's not easy, but who knows, your small step may end up being a big change. The world usually changes from what can be considered small ideas of a very handful of people, and you may be the one. So thank you very much, and please.